Can I break in with this?
Is it the ESPN thing?
What do we got?
You go ahead.
Micah has tweeted he wants to be traded.
Shut up.
And he's written a long note about his negotiations and such, and it ends with, couldn't come to agreement, peace out.
Holy shit, dude.
Is this real?
Yeah, it is real, and he's requested it too, Steven. You want me to read it?
Yeah, this changes.
Thank you, Dallas. Yeah, this is much bigger than ESPN and the NFL agreeing on network rights over billions of dollars, which did just finalize, but kind of felt like ZZ Top's bassist.
Well,
this is unprecedented.
Oh, my gosh, for sure. And the thing that they're running into is they're dealing with a guy who's unprecedented. You know, he's a different animal.
Yep. Yep. It's there. They've tried this.
But he's also
They've pushed it. They've pushed it.
His emotional, his swings. Like, he's not an even-keeled guy either.
Oh, he's gonna be back. He's not getting traded.
Micah Parsons, yes.
He'll be signed in 2 weeks. He'll be signed tomorrow, probably. This is only going to expedite it. But he is an emotional guy.
You can't take shots at him in the media.
He's not just emotional. He's vocal. He wears it on his sleeve. He sees everything. You know what I mean? Some guys go disappear and don't care. He's got name searches.
And then
a brother.
You can see Jerry's thought on, hey, I just went through this with Dak. I was assured that Dak will not be the highest paid guy for long. And you know what? I'm now going to be the Bills. And I want, like, the Bills went and signed Josh Allen. He did not sign for as high as Dak signed for, the same annual value. So that's what Jerry's thinking is, you know what? I guess Myles Garrett or whoever was wrong that prices are going to keep going up. Because I've already talked to Micah. Micah's said he wanted to be here. He thought the $30 million, whatever they talked about at that time, was kind of the right ballpark. And that's the ballpark we're in. And that is it. And now here's the problem with the Cowboys. Is kind of the problem with the Trump tariff or something, right? You state something that's it, but that'll be different next week. You know your mind can be changed. You've shown it time and time again. Now, if he was dealing with the Steelers or the Ravens or somebody, he might actually believe, oh, my gosh, this is it. And even if he did believe, oh, my gosh, this is it, well, you still have another year on your contract, and you're under team control really for another couple years because they could just go franchise tag you.
No, but they would never get to this point with the Steelers, right? It would be worked out, I would think.
Or they would be like,
go, and he wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
I think he. I just said earlier, I think he would.
Although did the Steelers? I think the Steelers probably got T.J. Watt done after that third year.
Yeah,
like they did it early enough to hey, this guy is the goods. Let's pay him now.
And man, if Mike
Le'Veon Bell, they were like, yeah, you know what, the running back market, I'm pretty sure.
That's the difference.
We're a team that can get another Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell decided to.
So I don't often agree with Terrence Parsons.
Oh.
And this is quite
Are we weighing in?
This is quite the run here in the last half hour on Twitter because he first, brother of Micah, retweeted Mike Fisher. Fact. Source tells me Micah Parsons is not demanding a Cowboys trade. I don't know why he said the Cowboys. You get the hashtag in there. Instinct. Knowing Micah Parsons 11 is the handle. If he did deeply feel that way, he'd be saying it on Twitter loudly. So Terrence retweeted that. And then 10 minutes later, Micah just tweeted out that he was requesting a trade. And Terrence,
I can't think one led to another,
and Terrence tweeted that and just said, like I said, you'll hear it from the GOAT himself. Now, here's the part where I agree with Terrence. 5 minutes ago, he tweeted, Micah playing the game. I love it. With the cry emoji. And that's what this is. And frankly, all of this is BS, and I really wish that they could both just sit down and be like, they're both in a dick measuring contest. It's kind of like how the defensive playbook ballooned to 17,000 pages along with the offensive playbook, and it's like you're both just doing the same thing. This doesn't need to happen. But I'm with Micah on this one. They fuck around with this with everybody. You hear CD talking about it at camp this year, like, hey, you just stay out of it with them because you know it's going to be this and that. Not every general manager goes on the radio and expounds on why he's or docking players or negotiations or the pie. Like, they do this more than anyone else. And for the most part, you're going to make the most money with the Cowboys. You're going to be super marketable, so people just take it. It's not that dissimilar to things we've dealt with before. But one guy who's like, I think I'm better than all of this, maybe, he just stood up and was like, fuck you, trade me. What are you going to do? Go get value for me. Now the whole world knows you got to trade me. Or you could sign on that dotted line right there. Or you could at least call my agent. Because what's the worst that happens?
What do the Steelers or somebody else do? What does another team do? They would have the ability to say, no, you're under contract.
But the reason he's doing this publicly is because they're doing it publicly, and the Steelers wouldn't do it publicly.
Yeah.
So the Steelers would never find themselves in a position this crossed up with a player unless the player was crazy, which has happened. But Micah is just doing what they're doing. He should go on the radio or on the Dumb Zone and be like, oh, Steven said this.
But, I mean, Jerry's taking those shots. Steven's taking those shots. But they also are taking it with the knowledge in their back pocket that this guy is under contract.
You
have a contract to play right now, and based on the rules, we could lock you up for the next year and probably the next year too, and reevaluate at that point.
And if they want to go that route, I feel confident that he'll be gone when he can, and then you've just paid a shit ton. So you also don't get the
But is he going to play this year?
I mean, to be seen, right? I think if he doesn't get traded, he will probably not play. But that's a knee-jerk reaction from me. But
so he's going to pull a Le'Veon Bell.
I don't know. I think I could see him doing it once, but I do think if they tried to do it twice, he would sit out.
What do you mean? Tried to do what twice?
Franchise him.
Well, now you're looking at 2 years down the road. I mean, now, he doesn't have any leverage now, Micah Parsons.
No, his leverage is the public, and just that everyone looks at the Joneses and thinks, and the leverage also is, true or not, he's playing right into what all of us think the narrative is, which is the players sometimes want to get signed earlier, but the Joneses don't want to do it because they want to wait. Well, if you wanted to wait on Dalton Schultz or something, I get it, but I would have given Micah whatever the NFL would allow to give you after the game in San Diego or L.A., the Charger game, his first year. You didn't know then? I think you knew pretty quickly. So if Micah's people tried to get signed up after year 3 and the Cowboys rebuffed those advances, then that's poor management on their part, and it's going to look bad publicly. Well, because now it's not going to work with the whole.
At the end of year 3, though, they still had CD and Dak looming.
You could have done something crazy and done them all.
Yeah.
Because then you get low. When you franchise a guy, you never get the lower cap number.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going anywhere. I think Steven is going to have to sort through a mountain of shit now that they've largely created for themselves. And I also want to say, I get it. They're under contract. You're a business. It's frustrating. It sucks. But this is the way it is. And if you want to have the best players happy to play on your team, you can't pull this public shots thing. You can do it whenever they're getting jacked off illegally. But you can't do it when they're just making all defensive teams and being a knucklehead on Twitter. He's not falling off yet. You can't shit on him. Trayvon,
it's interesting because, and I've also heard Machota. Listen to their podcast, the One Star Cowboys podcast, has talked about just Jerry's mindset nowadays. Because we always like to think that Jerry would do anything to win a Super Bowl short of naming someone else the GM. But he was talking about how, I don't know if you heard this, that Jerry's mindset is he's in this retrospective phase. He's putting together the Netflix documentary. He's hiring Shoddy and not some other coach that would come in and make some changes. He's very comfortable right now. Things are good. They're not winning Super Bowls, but they're still worth more than any other franchise in the NFL.
Yeah, man. I mean,
he just made the Hall of Fame. He's looking over, like he's right now kind of, you've always heard, guys, I never really got to sit and enjoy what I had built, and it was always go, go, go. Like he's in that I'm just sitting and enjoying what I built phase.
Yeah.
And that might include him I'm not worried about this whole Micah. Like I'm not going to have anything to do with it. Like, I'm just letting this whole I love everything. Everybody's really into everything I say. I'm the biggest voice. No one can take my shine away. Like, I'm Jerry Jones. Would you be embarrassed if you were in this stadium? I got the World Cup. I got this. He's not worried about winning. He's just worried about basking in the – he might be a guy that is looking at the last couple – I know we've been saying it's like the last few years of his life for 20 years.
Yeah.
But he's like in his 80s.
No, he talks about it, and we talked about it after he was on Landman. Like, he's got a family business. He's going to hand it over as smoothly as possible. Like, but if he wanted to stay out of it, then he doesn't need to get up there at the opening press conference and piss his whole team off. It just doesn't work well to win games. At least pissing him off in a provocatory way like that. If Belichick or Parcells wanted to get up there and be like, I think this guy's a pussy, then, like, it might work. But just getting up there and making comments about a guy's money, what does that help?
Especially when it seems like interpersonally everybody loves Jerry. He's their best friend. But then you go up, you've had these talks. And
how do you think Micah feels if they actually did have a conversation back in March and he's like, hey, he respects me as a man, like as an adult who can talk money here. That's why he's doing it. And then Micah is like, okay, he actually will talk to me about this a little bit. And then Jerry leaves that thinking like, hey, bud.
I also wonder, though. I would like to know the numbers.
Frankly, I've been through situations like that before, too, where your direct boss comes to you and starts to try to, like, negotiate with you. And then you're like, maybe, I don't know. And then what you do is you hire an agent.
Right.
Because you realize that person does not have your best interest. They're running the team.
Right.
So
and that we don't know the numbers that they're talking about. Like I'd like to know, but
it's probably not numbers, by the way.
Well, but when Micah was sitting
years, yeah.
But when Micah is sitting
guaranteed.
with Jerry, yeah, and Micah's like illustrating let's say it's $35 million. I think we're pretty good about that, Jerry. And you know what? I'd take less. To stay here. And yes, Jerry, I would take less to let you build a team around me because I want to win a Super Bowl. That's the ultimate goal. And then when his agent calls Steven, he's like, yeah, that's whatever Micah said doesn't mean anything right now. Because, now we're talking. Now the big boys are talking. So,
by the way, real quick, I just wanted to pull this up because I know I'm going to have to write about this. You guys remember? Not have to. I will. You guys remember I was telling you I was doing some like NFL cap valuation stuff, like looking at how they do with WAR in baseball, like wins per dollar type thing. Like, oh, you're a 3.5 win player. We paid you $10 million.
Right.
That means you actually were worth. You produced excess value. Right.
But Dak was well below.
Dak produced quite well in 2023.
But then now he's the other side.
Right. He produced well in 2023, but they owed him $80 million. So he was still the largest suck on the cap of basically any player in the NFL. So I'm going to go back to 2023 when Micah was paid $2.9 million by the Cowboys. His value as a pass rusher that year was $32 million. The most amount of value over cash of any pass rusher. And let's look here. Second to Brock Purdy in the entire NFL for value created over your contract.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
That's saying a lot.
I mean, that's why, again, he's probably not going to be worth $40 million. But the 4 years they've been paying him 2.5 to 5, he's been producing now 25 to 35.
Let's play this game, though. Because I don't think that diminishes his value if the league knows that he gave a trade demand. Because the Cowboys still do have a, hey, you're under contract thing here. Now, they might just have a disgruntled room and think, I got a great room.
But wouldn't he
coach for you.
Okay, but don't they have less leverage than if they were trying to trade him on the stealth? And it's still maybe just negligible.
At least now they can negotiate with more than one team.
Yeah.
Unlike the Mavs.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring it back to that because what's the comp? Trading him for Derrick Henry?
No.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. But it would be more like
if you want to
trading him
rewind,
for...
like, oh, let's run the football. Let's get the oldest.
Right.
running
Let's
back
take
we
a
can
really
find.
good.
It would be McCaffrey, right?
That's a good
busted. He's never healthy.
That's good.
He was great at one point. Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, and this is from his Twitter account. He retweeted this video. It's not about money. He's mad that Jerry and Steven talk like this in the open.
Yeah.
And this video is from the opening press conference where Jerry takes a shot at Micah for kind of
Micah
noise.
tweeted this?
Well,
the video.
So journalist tweets the video. J.J. Watt says something snarky about it of, when you're an owner, you got to take every chance you can to take a shot at your star player.
Oh, this is back then. Yeah, that day.
Well, but this is probably the genesis of it.
Yes,
I mean, this is
J.J. Watt jumped on that day, and okay.
Yeah, so here's Jerry.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
It just doesn't need to happen.
So from Micah's side, he's trying to say, I'm trying to help the team. I'm here at camp. And then Jerry's like, well, you missed some time last year. And so did
again,
number 4.
I think the lame part about it is we were going to play this. They're parading around talking about how Trayvon Diggs let him down. Because leadership, if you're a big money guy, you better be here. And they're going on the fan, ripping on him. And frankly, they're just saying, this is in your contract. We want you here if you want to make all the money. But the reason it's in there is because leaders need to be here. And then he shows up. And the first thing they do is they're like, I don't know, he's hurt last year. Like, it just doesn't, there's no need for most of it. But it is what it is here. And I bet you Micah right now is laughing his ass off. He's with whoever at camp sitting there like, fuck them. Somebody finally did it. That's what this is, because CD and Trayvon, they'll just tweet ball caps. Like, oh,
I don't want to feel sorry for Schottenheimer, but
this is cap.
CD just put on Instagram SMH.
Jesus.
This is my football team. I was cursed with this. Bedazzled jeans.
What do they get?
Speaking in emojis.
Let's play the they're going to trade him game. What if the Cowboys come out right now and say, okay, we're going to if we can get fair value, we're gonna go ahead and acquiesce to your wishes.
Philly?
He wouldn't do it. Jerry wouldn't do it. Steven wouldn't do it. But I mean, obviously that's where he wants to go. But probably he's going to go somewhere, and then he'll be fine playing under the franchise tag there because he'll be pissed off.
How about you send him somewhere like Cleveland?
Well, I think whatever you do, if you don't end up with a new starting quarterback next year or 2027 after Dak retires, a kid out of New Orleans, then it was all for nothing.
What if you trade
because Jane
Micah
Slater
and
actually
Dak
had
for Shador and Myles Garrett?
All right, let's do the news.
All right.
I can't process this.
Here's Jake with the dumb.
So we're not doing dossier today.
Yeah, I guess if I were to appear on the Today Show,
Mm-hmm.
they would be like, "Boy, big year for you as a sports fan." And like, yeah, well,
you lost your favorite
team
basketball player,
destroyed.
and now your favorite football player is demanding a trade.
Yeah, for no real. What happened? Nothing.
And the year you started caring about baseball,
yeah. The Rangers are my key. And Terrence Parsons weighs in. Checkmate. Moves on you, Jerry.
No,
Well,
after a
checkmate,
checkmate,
there
the
is
game
no
is
other
over.
Even we know that.
I thought Micah was like really into chess.
More of a
Terrence
Knew
dominoes
the
guy.
news, knew the rules. I mean, I don't know.
I think I'm 42.
Hey, the game's over. It's your turn.
CD Lamb says, "Never fails, dog. Just pay the man." Pay him what you owe him. No need for the extracurricular. This is great, though. This is kind of David versus Goliath. It's actually someone finally being like, what if I...
You're so back and forth already.
No, it's good, though.
And all these...
It's annoying, but it's good.
But
and I'm going to be
what's
honest.
interesting
I
is-
kind of feel like we have a parallel. Somebody finally was like, I don't know. I don't think this is right.
This might be, though, galvanizing the team. They
Dude,
all do have one...
We're fucking major league.
Common enemy.
We're major
Major
league
league. You know what?
so hard
It was
right now.
Shoddy's idea.
Oh, my
CeeDee
God.
Lamb.
McCarthy wouldn't have the gall.
But they're all publicly bagging on Jerry Jones.
Have you ever seen the
which
team
had-
this together?
You know what the next thing they need?
Dude, somebody hit that over before they find out about this. What?
Team dinner.
You guys want to play Dez on Micah before we go?
Absolutely.
I was refreshing his account, too.
What you doing,
It's a minute
message
and a
that you
half.
sending, the business that you standing on is extremely major, brother. You know, the guys like myself, guys who came before you, we failed. You know, we failed tremendously on standing our ground, you know, due to the lack of knowledge and the lack of support entering a world that we was very unfamiliar with. You know,
So
I
far,
remember
this
being
is
in that situation like you. Nervous, scared, don't know which way to go.
I like it, though.
Can't trust my support system. By the way, shout out to David, man.
the agent.
He's one of the best agents in the business. You know, I respect how y'all go about y'all business. You know, so a huge salute there. You know, but like I was saying, man, much respect to you. For real. You know, do what's best for you. Do I want to see you with the star on your helmet? Yes, I do. You know, I pray that Jerry and them do what's right, pay you what you deserve. You're an incredible talent. You are a superstar. You are worth every penny that you're asking for. You know, and if everything don't work out, you still gonna be great, because that's who you are. You know? So, again, I appreciate you. I support you. As I always love, dog.
Dare I say we have just generally sensible words of wisdom from Dez?
Always an odd.
I probably
Position you
wouldn't
find
have
yourself
played
in.
that had I known it was going to be so normal. I thought he was going to be like, dump it all into crypto. Here's the player's corner.